Okay, here we go. It's just life, guys. It's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so we'll end up having two recordings or two YouTube links for this video in the chat thread when we upload it to the chat group. So one for the first half and then one for this half. So we talked about what you want, goal setting. We talked about how to goal set. Internet is unstable. Okay. So now we're going to talk about real fast that last week, one of the things we talked about was okay, let's try this again. Third time's a charm. Okay, so what we're going to talk about super fast is we're going to talk about the remainder of the homework last week. So the idea was to establish exactly what you want out of Plexus, because whatever that thing is that you want, it's absolutely possible. The next thing is, the next thing was to make a list. Trying to go back through here, some of this stuff is to make a list. And we figured out how to make a list and how many people you needed that list to be. So, did anybody get their list or started working on their list at all? Yeah, good. Good. A couple things I'll mention about this list and putting your list of people together is one thing is we have amazing products. So make a list, and people a lot of times will they'll come on Facebook and they'll tell you all of their medical issues. It's kind of an interesting thing, but so I mean, you can make two lists. You can make one list of people that you know these products will help, and you can make another list of people that who you think would be good at the business. People who are looking for more things. People again who will come on Facebook or whatever and tell you that they need more money. Like we have an option to help them. So you can make two separate lists. One for people for the products, another for business opportunities. So any questions about the list? How's your list coming along? Any questions on how many people, how big the list needs to be again? We did cover that last week. Sarah Kunstler needs 13 people. Mary needs 12. Okay, perfect. So any questions? 20. Okay, so it looks like people are getting it, how many people you're needing. And so again, if you need, let's just go back through. I want to make this so for easier math, Lisa Stanley needs 20. So for example, if you need 20 people, make a list that's 200 people. Like keep adding people to the list. This business takes a lot of reach outs. It takes a lot of conversations. It takes a lot of people. And if you get 10% of the people that you reach out to join, I mean, for 20 people, that means you would need 200 people to reach out to. And so just, again, there's no other way around it. I wish you could do a magic post and have 300 people join. I've not found that to be the case. I wish I could. If I do figure out how to do that, I will be the first to let you know. But it takes just a lot of conversations with a lot of people. So your list is going to have to be big. And can I be honest with you? I like to shoot things pretty straight. Most people aren't willing to do the work. They just aren't. They're looking for something easy and they're looking for something fast. And network marketing is not it. Network marketing does take work, but for the amount from a business perspective, the amount of money that you can make with network marketing compared to a traditional like job or career, there's no comparison. Network marketing blows it out of the water, but most people just aren't willing to do the work. They're not willing to have the conversations or the amount of conversations or to hear the amount of no's or whatever it is. So we figured out how to put the list together. And then the last thing is start reaching out to the people on the list. It sounds simple. It's not easy, but it sounds simple. And the reason it sounds simple is because it is. It is. The process is very simple. And like I talked about last week, posting is great. It educates your audience. It tells people what you're doing. It lets them know about the products, about the business opportunity. It lets them know about your interesting life, all of these wonderful things. But really, making a post on Facebook is not working your business. Converting people that are watching your posts, turning them into a conversation or pulling them, that's just like if you're fishing, you're throwing out bait to some level by doing a Facebook post, which is wonderful and it's important. But the thing is, you have to go further than just doing a post. So in my opinion, doing a post, yeah, it's kind of working your business. Not really. Talking to people is working your business. Mary, I reach out to people personally after my stories and posts. Great. And especially if people are showing interest or even if they're liking your story or liking your post and not asking questions, thank them. Just send them a, hey, thanks for liking my post. I appreciate it. Simple, right? And just, you want to have that dialogue. You want to have dialogue with people and you want to, in network marketing, it's not the desperate short game. Like I'm looking for a life raft. We're talking about like, you need to, it is somewhat important to have I don't know the right word, but like to I don't know, to get things done and to work hard. But a lot of these things and these conversations and relationships, a lot of times are the long game. A lot of people need so many exposures to something before they buy. Like we are so oversold to in America. Like it can take a lot of touches before we do it. So play the long game. Don't be desperate in these things. Play the long game and have lots and lots of conversations. Keep adding people to your list. As you meet people that are like, I meet people that are very good at selling stuff. Just as you're out and about, some people absolutely suck at sales. And I'm like, no, you're kind of creepy. I wouldn't want you on my team. But I love you as a human being. I want the best for you, but I wouldn't want you on my team because you would scare people away. Like, but as I see people that are awesome at sales and they're very good at their business and they're very good at talking to people, as I'm just out and about, I'm like, you know what? They would be an excellent addition to our team. Like our team, like we could teach them a lot. They could add so much value to our team just by the way they do business, by the way that they treat people. Put them on the list. Like, hey man, you are really good at this. Like, I'd love to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you sometime and compare notes. I'm in a network marketing business and I think it'd be cool just to sit down and we can compare notes. See if we can put something together here. With your business, with my business, I don't know, see what happens. And so it's just that connection like that. You see the difference with that compared to like forcing a sample down their throat? You don't be afraid to play the long game when you're talking to people on your list. Let's see. Any questions about that? Any questions about goal setting? Any questions about how to figure out how many people you need and how big of a list, putting the list together and working the list? Any questions on any of that you guys have? Nope. Okay. A couple things. Any questions in general about anything to do with anything in Plexus, life, eternity, whatever? What do you got? Anything? Complaints, criticisms?
Justin, I just had something that got brought to my attention.
Yep.
Henry, please wait. Um, my mom and I were talking, and she said that some people think that I share about my life and share just like posting on social media. It means that I am like searching for something that's lacking in my life. You know, like you have to put it out there, and you need like attention. Maybe I don't know. It's fun. Like I don't need that, but just those comments and those thoughts are out there, and my father-in-law agrees. He thinks it's ridiculous that people share so much about their lives. Do you just have to put blinders on and not care? Just share your thoughts with me.
Yeah. Let me get the greatest personal growth book on the planet, my Bible, and we'll get to the greatest personal growth chapter in the Bible that all personal growth books copy and sell so they can put their own stamp on it. This is a business hack I don't share with everybody, but anyway, one thing. So they are saying you do that because something's missing in your life and you're trying to fill whatever. Okay, so the first thing I'll ask you, is that true? What they're saying, is it true? No. All right. So, okay. So there you go. So that's kind of like, it's kind of like, how can I say this? I don't know everybody on here. I'll have to be careful what I say. But the thing is, sometimes I get in trouble. If it's not true, okay, so if you're getting criticism from anybody about anything, this has to do with Plexus, has to do with anything that you do, has to do with anything in life. I was just having this conversation with my kids. We're dealing with an issue. It's just an issue we've been dealing with for 20 years. People want you to do well in life. They want you to do good. They just don't want you to do better than them. That's the majority of human beings. That's at least the majority of Americans. It's just the way it is. And if you do anything outside of the norm, if you do anything outside of the box that they find acceptable or appropriate, they will attack. This is no attack on your father-in-law. This has nothing to do with him personally. This is just people in general. Most people will not celebrate other people's success. This is something I learned several years ago. The Bible is very clear. Rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. As a church, we are very good with weeping with those who weep. We suck at rejoicing with those who rejoice, especially if their rejoicing is a little bit more than ours. In the top 10, in the 10 commandments, it talks about, no, I just had a brain cramp. That was going to be good too. Let me come back to that. It comes back to, let me rethink how I want to say that. Let me rethink how I want to state that. I want to make sure I state that well, so it's not taken out of context. We suck as a culture. I wouldn't say even as a church, probably the American culture is really not very good at rejoicing with those who rejoice. You know who's very good? And this is why I think people need to be incredibly successful, not just in Plexus, in every stinking area of life. If you love dandelions in your yard, be the best flipping dandelion grower in the neighborhood. Don't settle for 3. Go for 3,000. Be the best dandelion person you got, whatever. And here's why. Because the people who support people are successful. Meaning a successful person is not just in what they accomplish, it's who they are as a person. Successful people root on other people. They're cheerleaders, they're encouragers. They're not embarrassed, they're not intimidated, they're nothing like that. And so most people just are not success-minded people. And anything outside of the norm, it bothers them. And so again, this is nothing personal against your father-in-law. It's just people in general. If it's not true what they're saying, then it's not true.
Yeah, because that has actually stopped me from sharing. Because, my husband's like, well, it is his grandkids. Like, he doesn't really want everybody to know certain things. He just thinks it's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, it's been a process. It's been kind of hard whenever you're involving like other people's family members and having to be cautious and stuff. Um, I don't
Yep.
know if he's worried about embarrassment. I don't know, but I just have to realize, yeah, like you said, people have their opinions. Is it true? Is it true what I'm doing? I'm doing it for a business. Like, I
Yep.
wouldn't be on Facebook probably if it weren't for this type of stuff.
Sure. Okay, so a couple questions I have, and I don't mean any disrespect by any of these questions. These are just straight comments, things that I've worked through, still working through as a 40-year-old, 48, not 40, 48-year-old man. The goal you set for yourself, $1,000 a month, that's $500 for products and $500 for whatever else you want that to be for. Is he willing to give that $1,000 to you a month?
No.
Okay, well, there's that. So the other thing is, I think it's very important. I'm just going to be careful with this. I can go off, but I'm not going to, especially in the Christian community. I think it's very important to establish immediate family and extended family. Like, we are called to respect and to honor our parents. As children, we're called to obey them. But when you're not a child anymore, you're not called to obey them anymore. You're called to honor them and still respect them. Yes. And there's promises with that, long life, good life. And so those are important things to very well pay attention to. But at a certain point, like, in my opinion, this has to do with my life, not with yours or your father-in-law. My home here is my extended family. And what we do is our business.
Henry, quiet.
But the extended family, that means people who do not live in my house or eat my bread or sleep in my bed with me. Like, I appreciate your concern. However, you are now extended family and we have our own family, and this is what we're doing. If you like it and you want to help us in this, that's great. If you don't, give us the money we need then. If you want us, if it's that important, then shell out the $1,000 a month that we're wanting to do to help our own home and family out. If not, support us. You don't like it? I don't know. Get off Facebook or unfollow me. Like, I'm just at that point in life. Like, again, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody else or dishonoring. That's not the goal. But really, other people's opinions, especially if they're not true, don't mean anything to me. Now,
Okay,
if they're
thank you.
true, if what they're saying and the criticism that is coming is true, then I need to consider that. You can learn a lot from criticism, and you can learn a lot from someone who comes against you and what you're doing. You can. And if it's true what they're saying, then that should be considered. And there should be an adjustment made to make it right, to where there's integrity. But if what they're saying is not true, you kind of have to dismiss it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're letting a lie and something that's not true totally control what you want and what you're
What it
willing to
is,
do
it
in life.
stems like I might share something that my kids have done throughout the day that was just, you're like, how did that happen? And I'm home with them and my father-in-law will just be like, well, where was their mother? Where was she? Is she just like too busy sharing about it and she's not watching her kids and now she's so it's like I've had to be careful with that, I guess. Sharing about my kids and what they're doing. Some of the silly things.
Hmm.
I don't know. Do you think that's safe territory? I thought it was safe, but then I maybe had a different opinion. I don't know.
I've said enough what I have to say. I'll just refer to the things I said to your husband. You guys figure out what's appropriate moving forward. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Can I say something really quick?
yep.
Family or not, don't let people dictate your life. That's all I'm gonna say. I know family can be difficult. I have family that can be difficult. I have friends that can be difficult, but you do you, girl. If
So
people don't like what you're doing, then they don't need to be involved. They don't need to watch your stuff. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but you've just gotta just live your life. Those
yeah,
who don't like it, they don't need to be involved.
I think it's important to be respectful. I think don't lose that. But gosh, dang. I'm really biting my tongue. We Megan had a person like Megan has a huge family. I love her family, everything else. And this has nothing to do with anything about anybody, whatever. I'm just giving you a little perspective. Like our business that we have has nothing to do with the size of her family. Like they're not involved in this business at all. The people locally here are not involved in this business at all. We've had to go outside of this small town to build our business. And so on our initial climb to Diamond, Megan Diamond, she went Diamond first. She went in 2016. There were certain people that just sat back and watched. They wouldn't try any of our products. They were very negative or silent. They weren't negative to us, they were negative to others about us behind our back. And I'll just say in 2015 or 16, I had a huge inner circle. Like in 2016, Megan went Diamond and she was getting ready to get on we had a Zoom back then, probably. It might have been a Zoom call. I don't even know. It might have been a live. I don't remember but it doesn't matter. She was getting ready to go on. She had just achieved a huge goal. I mean, in insane speed. We're talking like a little bit over a year, she went Diamond. And so, um, and we talked about a list of having 200 people. That probably had 2,000 people on it. And probably all of them were contacted more than once. Anyway, the night she went Diamond, she got a call from somebody before she was getting on this call, and they had said, what you're doing is wrong. Blah, blah, blah. You're a bad mother. You're neglecting your children. And so I won't say exactly all the things I said. Before I was in road construction, I was in the Army for 12 years. So I have an extremely broad vocabulary. And so it's like, so I won't tell you exactly what I said, but imagine. And so anyway, I share that not as a slam to anybody that might have said that to us. Like, I'm just at a point in life, I don't really care about stuff like that. Like, people are just interesting, and the ones closest to us probably care the most. That's what I'm saying. They probably care the most. But anyway, it's just, people are just people, and you get to decide what you want to do in life. You get to decide what you want to do with Plexus, and you get to decide what this means for you and your family. And so, I would just be very clear about what you want in Plexus. Go back to the very first thing, the very first assignment that I gave you guys. Be very, very clear about what you want with Plexus and why. And the thing about setting a goal and what you want in life, it's going to be tested. And some of those tests are going to come, some of those shots fired are going to come at pretty close range. So they might come from behind you, and so that's okay. Let those things test your why. Let those things test what you really want in life. It'll either derail you or it'll cause you to have more get up and go than ever before. And so look at it that way. I wouldn't take it personal. I just wouldn't. That's just me. So anyway, I'm looking here. But yeah, any goal you set, any big goal, whatever, is going to be tested. So look at it that way. It's afternoon already, so we've been on an hour. Anybody else have anything real quick they need to ask? Something you're going to regret forever if you don't ask?
I won't forget, right? I won't regret forever, but I just need to
Yep.
maybe have just a smidgen of reassurance that all these oppositional things that are happening in my business are par for the course, and it's not like a divine act of God or the enemy to completely block and destroy everything I've done to build so far. I went gold in May. No, yeah, May. I was almost there in April, and I went in May, and it's been a struggle to maintain. I, on average, will add between 3 and 5 people a month, but June was tough. I only added 1, and there was a lot of people on the fence. There was a lot of people like, I want to, but I really can't afford it. And then, I contact them this month, and we're working on it. I'm working on it, bringing them over. But I upgraded 3 people to ambassador, and those people, 2 of them are not doing the training they said, or they wanted to be Ruby or above. It's like, I've already gone through the steps of like, okay, what are your goals? What is the income? They know how to work social media. I'm having a lot of people return things, like 2 to 3 returns a month. Like, that's more than normal, I feel like, but maybe that's normal. Out of, how many. So I'm just feeling a little struggle bus, and I'm losing confidence by the day, and I don't want to jump ship, but my feelings and emotions are tied to this, and I'm trying to place them in a correct space and trying to say, okay, this is normal. We're just going to move on and leave those people because they're obviously not as fired up, as passionate, have the direction, have the drive, have the whatever it is that you do. And so you need to find those people. And I'm trying to walk in faith, knowing that those people exist for me, because I'm seeing it happen for others. And I'm thinking maybe they have special sauce and I don't, it's starting to feel like, well, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this isn't, blah, 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 all that stuff where you start to kind of spiral down. So I would assume that you all have, like, you and Megan have gone through setbacks and things like that. So I just think, is there something I'm missing? Is there something I need to work on harder? I have people that know how to post, but they do it one way and then they won't branch off. And I'm like being super encourager. And that's just my role. I've been that way forever. I pray with people. I talk with people. I talk about all the other things in life, not just Plexus. So I'm good at creating like relationships and making it more relational versus transactional. So I'm trying to do all that. Any advice?
Yeah. So first off, it is normal. Now on the return side of things, that seems a little high to have products returned. that many. If you're signing 3 to 5 and 2 to 3 are returning products a
The
month,
last 2 months.
that does seem pretty high. So a couple questions come to mind, like one, why are they returning? What is their reasoning for the return?
Okay. One gal immediately got a migraine, so she said it's not working. It was 1 week of use. So that was that. I couldn't change her mind. She just did what she did. I know it was detox. She was on a lot of antibiotics. So to me, that was just like, well, to get better, sometimes this has to happen. But that was one. The others are even like my level 2s. They've returned after a week of, they panicked and their husband saw that they spent $200. So they were, uh-oh, I need to send it back. I need the money. So a lot of it's money based, I think, as well. I think some people are not checking their subscriptions. They're going through and they're like, oh no, okay, I need to send it back. So there are various things, but mostly it's those reasons, not because they've been faithful users for time and then like, oh yeah, we're returning. So it's kind of like that type of stuff.
Okay, so a couple of things come to mind. One thing is, and this is for everybody, not just you.
Uh-huh.
And so for one, I don't know how many people I've recruited in the last 8-9 years. It's been hundreds, like level 1s that I've recruited. I have more people that have quit than that are still on. Like, that's just normal. Like, and so to be diamond, to be honest, even though I've signed hundreds of level 1s, less than 10 of them make me a diamond. So just throwing that out there as far as like filtering process from a business perspective, it takes a lot of people. However, a couple things might help in light of this. Just a couple different things. One, actually, I'll say, I'm just writing this down.
Mm-hmm.
One, when you're messaging people and people are interested, there's a couple different things that all of us can do. And this is something car salesmen do sometimes. But this isn't, we're not like car salesmen, but the thing is to explain, and like when I send an email, like a welcome email to someone after they join, I'll explain like a starting process and how I would, it depends on what the person wants, what the products, but I mean, pretty much 99.99999% of the time, they always start with triplex with me. I had one lady over the 9 years that started with something else, and looking back, she should have started with the triplex, but, so I send a welcome email, and in that welcome email, I actually tell them and write out about Herxheimer reaction, which is detox. And I explain to them that this is possible. And I explained how to mitigate that if it does happen. So they're going into it like, if there is a little bit of detox or there is a headache or changes in your digestive system, whatever the issue may be, they're already made aware of it, and there's no necessarily real shock factor. I mean, pharmaceutical companies do the same thing, except, their side effects are way worse than what we have. And so like, however, one thing I like to do is just to let them know, hey, it's possible when your body detoxes, these things could happen. So some things that I found that can help in that is make sure they're drinking their water. Most people won't. And so that's one way to lessen detox. Another thing is adding ease with the triplex is another good way of lessening detox. But I think just the awareness ahead of time that, hey, these products work and they're going to cause changes in your body. And that change could be something called Herxheimer reaction. These are some things, and just walk through them with that. So that's one thing that's for everybody, not just you. It's just that awareness ahead of time. The other thing, awareness ahead of time from a financial standpoint, not a health standpoint, is also letting them know that there's a subscription. Like if you're not retail, you are signing up for a subscription. That way there's no shock factor on month 2 when, why in the heck did I get charged $150? Well, you signed up for a subscription. I find it better to let them know way in advance, or even if you can, let them know ahead of time before month 2 happens. Hey, how things going with the products? What do we need to do with your subscription? Do we need to add to it? Do we need to make adjustments, whatever? And just be in that constant contact. Those are
Yeah.
some things, and again, not just for you, that's for everybody, me included. That's just customer care type stuff. Another thing is, and you either, as far as the people that are canceling that fast, it's quite possible you have the wrong people or it's the wrong time for those people.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of
Yeah.
stuff, and like the level twos, I'm not directly in control of them. I have put all of my people in a chat, all my customers go in a chat immediately, and I welcome them and I send reminders about things. I try to give information and testimonials and just try to keep like it lively. And I do try to coach people, but you can't control everybody. So you just have to go, well, I thought, I'm doing this for you. You got to do it for your people too. And so, and everyone has different situations at home. Some people work full time, some people don't.
Right.
And some people have a million kids, and I do too. And I try my best. I've got my cat. Hold on, she's stuck in something. Anyway, I think that, knowing there's, what do you need? 5 good, strong legs to go diamond, and I just haven't found them yet. I think it's either that or, they're maybe somewhere in there, but they just haven't, like, the timing of it. And so, like, I'm not in control of all the timing, and watching Angie, and seeing her journey. And it's like, I have to put in perspective, but I feel like with Plexus, I feel like I sold other things and I ranked up, and it was not the same. I think because our company is so personal, we hear personal stories of so many things going on with people that they're kind of embarrassed to talk about. I feel like we have to, like, we get to know them on more of an emotional level. And so you care about them, and I care about these people. And then I feel like they quit, and it's like, no, like, don't do that. And I think I care a lot. And so that's hard on me emotionally. And I'm trying to be business-like in some way, that I don't feel like it's going to just tear me down when I keep seeing people quit on themselves. And then also too, it's like, I care about my family and their well-being, and I want this business to do well so that we can get out of a financial situation. So it's kind of this like swirl of, and I don't want to quit. I truly don't. I just want to throw in the towel for 10 minutes at a time and just say, I'm frustrated, and I have these people that could do so well, and I believe in them, and I pour that into them, and I don't see them doing anything with it. So then it's like, okay, when do I stop doing that for you and just let you be? Because it's a lot of work to pour into people a lot. So.
And that's one thing. And so when you're first kind of starting out, you're heading to gold, you're, in that realm in your business or whatever, it is a lot of filtering. And so one thing is like, we want to share our products with people, but you also want to be, as you're making your list, put people on your list that you want to reach out to that are better than you. That's for me. That's not just, I'm not saying
that's good.
to you specifically. I'm saying that to all of us, me included. Like, I want people better than me. I want people richer than me. I want people more successful than me, better looking than me, better built than me, bigger families than me. Like, I want to recruit people better than me. One is, that's who you want on your team, building a business. 2, it'll make me better. But here's what, I'm just going to say this, to be honest, and then we'll probably have to get going. One, a lot of people don't want to do the work to be successful in business. Most people don't want to do the work to be successful in their health. Like, they just don't. And so it's going to be a small percentage of people that really want to do those things. I hate saying that, but it's just true. And so I've been at it long enough. It's a filtering process. And there's people out there, though, that want more. They want to feel better. And there's people out there that want a business opportunity. They are out there. And so there's too many stories and too many success stories, even recently, to show otherwise. So as far as the feelings that you get or the emotions you have, again, kind of like I was talking to Sarah, is it true? Like,
Right.
are there no people on the planet that want to do Plexus? No, that's not true. Like, they are out there because there's people
Mhm.
succeeding in this business, and there's people that are
Yeah.
succeeding fast. Like,
Yeah,
and so they
I
are,
know.
you know. Another
Yeah, I see them. I see them all the time in our team, and with Genevieve came and it was like, you guys got it going on, and it's like, I know, I want some of that, so I'm
well,
trying. I'm trying to stay positive.
yeah. And there's other things to learn. There's like, what was I gonna say? Uh, had to do with a lot of times one thing we do, and this is just as far as recruiting, one thing we do is we try
Mhm.
to get sick Aunt Sally on the products. I'm not saying you are doing that. I'm just saying what we do a lot of time. We corporately, it's getting towards the end of the month, it's getting towards the end of a contest. Oh, I'm desperate. So a sick Sally, hey, here's some probiotics, and we sign her up. And she was never a good, I mean, we want her to feel better, but she was never probably a good recruit to begin with.
Right.
We need to be careful to recruit well. One good recruit
Mhm.
is better than 100 bad ones. They
That's
just
good.
are. Because one good recruit will bring in 100 people.
Yeah, that's good.
We want to be, it's kind of like Jim Rohn. I will put, what all am I putting in the chat? I better start writing this down, everything I'm supposed to put in the chat here today. But I'm just talking, I don't,
But that was a good one. That was good.
Jim
Write it
Rohn.
down.
Yeah, Jim Rohn, and then the goal setting. But one thing Jim Rohn said, if you haven't ever listened to Jim Rohn, he's amazing. He's dead and gone now.
Yes.
His stuff
Yeah.
still is out there encouraging people. That's how you know it's good, is if it's still working after you're dead and gone. And his is, it's standing the test of time. So, but one thing that he says is that a video that I'll put in the chat group is, he said, you can't send your ducks to Eagle School.
Mhm.
And so if you think about that, like, we want people on the products because we know the products work well, but
Yeah.
business can be extremely frustrating when we have sick Aunt Sally on her probiotic and we're trying to get her to share the business and she doesn't want to share the business. And it gets frustrating because we're trying to send a duck to Eagle School. She's not going to become an eagle. She doesn't want to be an eagle. She's a duck. She's happy with that. And so really it comes back to, who are we recruiting and why? Are we recruiting low-hanging fruit? Not saying anything negative about it, sick Aunt Sally. I'm just saying from a business perspective, are we
Yeah.
recruiting people that are easy to talk to? Or are we recruiting people that are scary? Start having conversations
Yeah.
with those scary people. Start having conversations with those people that, like, it's like, I am totally out of my league here. Because those are the people that are going to help you build your business. We still want the probiotics to go to
Yeah.
Sick Sally. We love Sick Aunt Sally, but let's get our business going so well that I'll buy the Probio 5 and I'll give them to Sick Aunt Sally because I love her. Let's not try to make
Yes.
her into let's not try to make her into an emerald that she doesn't want to be. That gets really frustrating.
Yes.
It gets very hard. It gets very, it's just miserable when we're trying to build our
But
business.
yeah, I don't want to drag people around. I mean,
No,
not
no,
that I'm trying to do that and like
right.
force anybody. You give everybody the option. This is what's available,
Yep.
and let them decide. But
Yep.
sometimes some of these people say yes. So it's like, I'm only doing what you said, I'm only trying to tell you, like, you wanted to make this much or do this thing, and then they're like, well, I changed my mind, and that's okay. So just tell me.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, the thing is, and let's just be honest for everybody here, and then we'll get going. But most people do want Emerald benefits,
Money.
but no one
Yeah.
wants to do Emerald work. It's kind of like in the army or whatever. Everybody wants to do. I gotta clean this up, but like everybody wants to do soldier stuff. Everybody wants to be a soldier until it's time to do soldier stuff. Like, Same thing in Plexus.
yeah.
Everybody wants to be an emerald until it's time to do emerald stuff. You know, and
Yeah, so this is just
oh.
this is the basic training in gold.
It's just the way it is. And so you just have to,
Yeah,
if you guys want this and what you wrote down that you want, if you really want it, you're just going to have to toughen up a little bit.
yep, I
Because,
guess so. Okay.
and that's not just Plexus though. That's real estate investing. That's banking. That's like lemonade stand sales. It doesn't matter what the thing is. Like, it's just business. And if you're going to succeed, you're just going to have to, and you're going to succeed in people and in sales at all, in any area, any industry. We're just going to have to get tough. So
Okay.
anyway,
That was good.
guys, I got to go. You guys have to
Yep.
go on. I will get these on. I'll get the couple other posts on the group chat. Homework for this week is to still be working on your what I want. As far as the goal setting, write down that goal, like follow those steps as far as goal setting goes. If you have any questions about that, reach out to me. I'll help you set those goals myself. And do what it says on those goal setting, those 6 goal setting steps, and just start working that list that you're putting together. Put it together and start reaching it out, and make a dream team list too. Like, this person would be incredible at this business. Well, reach out to them. Don't be afraid. Those are the people that will be the probably, and if they say no, it's okay. Follow up later. Or as you start to succeed, they may come back to you, but don't be afraid and reach out. Reach out to a scary person this week. So anyway, got to go. Thanks for guys for coming on. Super encouraging to see you. We will do next Thursday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you have any questions, reach out to me personally on Facebook Messenger, and I will answer any questions that you may have or help in any way that I can. So have a great week. Go forth and do mighty things. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.